People started drinking at home because they had no choice. And guess what? They never stopped. What began as a coping mechanism became a lifestyle, a trap dressed as a treat. No bouncers and no last orders, no limits. When you drink at home, there is nobody to tell you when enough is enough. And that is exactly what makes it so dangerous. In a 2024 DrinkAware study, it showed that the majority of weekly drinkers in the UK now spend more on alcohol at home than they do in pubs or restaurants. Now that might sound harmless, convenient, sensible even, but it's not. And today, we're lifting the lid on one of the most invisible traps of the liquid lie, the slow, silent creep of drinking at home, and how it steals your presence, your parenting, your partnership, and your power. So let's get into it. Welcome to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. My name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same, like right now. My little baby boy Jude is 24 years of age, and when he was born, everything changed in my life. Sleepless nights, nappies, chaos, and more drinking. No more pub nights though, just more parties in the house. Because when you've got a kid, going out, it's a bit of a military operation, right? Babysitters, taxis, timing naps, all that malarkey. So the wine followed us home. And that shift, I got to say, I think it broke something. Because when you drink at home, there is no regulation. No one's pouring a single measure. No one's cutting you off or telling you you've had enough. There are no social cues to help pace yourself. It's just you, your wine rack, and whatever story your parts are telling you that night. And here's where the liquid lie gets extra sneaky. Because you hear people say, I don't drink at home. I only drink socially. Like it's a badge of honor, a sign that they've got it under control. But that's not control. That is comparison. It's still resilience, but just dressed up in better lighting. The problem was never where you drink, it's why you drink and what happens when you do. You see, drinking at home doesn't scream problem, it whispers routine. But routine becomes ritual. Ritual becomes reliance, and reliance becomes reality. And if you've got kids, well, you're training them. They see you check out, even if the glass never leaves your hand. They see connection turn to numbness. They see alcohol become furniture. They don't hear your intentions. They watch your patterns. And let's ignore the class dynamic here. I grew up working class. So I used to buy 3 bottles of wine for a tenner, right? And when 3 bottles were in the house, those 3 bottles got drunk. That wasn't celebration. That was survival, not pleasure, pain management. And then came the pandemic. People started drinking at home because they had no choice. And guess what? They never stopped. What began as a coping mechanism became a lifestyle, a trap dressed as a treat. Now we're going to take a short break. I'm going to have a little drink of sparkling water. And what you're going to do is ask yourself something, my dear striver. What does your home say about your relationship with alcohol? Not your words, not your rationalizations, but your fridge, your recycling bin, your Tuesday nights. Do you feel safe in your own home, or do you feel surrounded? Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. Before the break, we talked about how the liquid lie turns your home into a hidden danger zone, normalizing disconnection under the illusion of safety. Now let's talk about how to reclaim that space. Here is the one truth that nobody wants to admit. Drinking at home makes it easier to lose control while convincing yourself you're still in control. You say it's cheaper than going out, that you've got the kids to look after, that you don't get drunk, you just unwind. But what do your kids see? What does your partner feel? What are you really using that drink to do? If alcohol is your relief, your reward, your ritual, then alcohol is also your roommate. It's living rent-free in the place you're meant to feel safest. But here's the good news. If your home became your drinking sanctuary, it also became your healing ground. You don't need a therapist on speed dial. You just need presence. You need a space to feel. You need freedom from the grip of unconscious habits. And that starts by making one small change. Remove the drink from your home. Not to punish yourself, but to reclaim your power. Because when you do, you'll stop checking out and you'll start showing up. And that is what living a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, looks like. Today's daily vow. Today, I will not drink because I refuse to make alcohol feel at home in my life. I will reclaim my kitchen, my living room, and my Friday nights. I will not decorate my trauma with fairy lights and Pinot Grigio, and I will not train my children to think that numbness lives in a cupboard. I choose presence, I choose power, I choose peace. Your home should be a sanctuary, not a pub with softer lighting. The liquid lie will always tell you you're safe because you drink there and not here, but the location was never the point. The point is whether you're connected or whether you're checked out. Don't let alcohol be part of the furniture. Make it be part of your past. Reflections for you as you muse about the day today. What room in your home has the strongest association with alcohol? What would it feel like to remove the drink from that space just for 1 week? And what rituals are you calling normal that are actually keeping you numb? Share your thoughts on social media at LeeDavyCoaching or #strive, or reach out to me directly at thestrivemethod@gmail.com. That's all I've got time for today, ladies and gentlemen. If this episode really helped you out, please share it with somebody else. It's very difficult to grow a podcast where you're helping people quit alcohol because people are ashamed to tell other people they have a problem with alcohol. So word of mouth marketing is a little bit difficult. I'm asking you to be vulnerable enough to step beyond that, because what we're talking about here every single day can really help somebody. All right, much love, everybody. Remember, today, you do not need to drink, and removing alcohol from your house is really going to help you do that, okay? Much love, everybody, and strive on.